Good evening, all. Welcome to the interesting case with interesting mnemonic presentation. 7-year male child came with complaints of chronic history of headache, intermittent vomitings, weight loss in 6 months, sudden onset of back pain, ataxia, urinary retention, and weakness of both lower limbs since 2 weeks. These are the actual images. You can see there is a cystic lesion noted in the fourth ventricle with peripheral iso to hyperintense solid component. On FLAIR, the lesion is hyperintense with peripheral isointense solid component. No restricted diffusion on DWI. There is subtle areas of blooming on GRE, and the lesion is seen herniating into the foramen magnum and even into the CSS spaces of the upper cervical spinal cord. On IV contrast, there is peripheral enhancement in the solid component, no enhancement in the cystic component, and the lesion is seen arising from the floor of the fourth ventricle, which is seen herniating into the foramen of magnum into the upper cervical spinal cord through the foramen of Magendie and Lashka. So this is the on IV contrast. You can see the lesion is arising from the floor of the fourth ventricle, showing intense heterogeneous enhancement, and the lesion is seen squeezing out of the posterior fossa into the foramen magnum and even into the upper cervical spinal cord. This is the lesion on the coronal sections. These are the T2 sagittal weighted images of the whole spine, T2 sag, star sag, and post contrast images. You can see this is the cystic lesion with peripheral hyperintense solid component herniating into the upper cervical spinal cord, and there are few hyperintense areas in the cord which are hyperintense on T2 and star. And on IV contrast, you can see this is the lesion arising from the floor of the fourth ventricle herniating through the foramen of Magendie and Lashka into the upper cervical spinal cord, and there are enhancing areas in the spinal cord at T4, T10, T12, and there is an enhancing area in the intradural extramedullary location at T8 vertebral level. And also you can see there is a hypointense area in the L2 vertebral body which is enhancing on post contrast images. So this is the zoomed images of this case, sagittal zoomed images. You can see this is the enhancing lesion which is mimicking a champagne glass. What is this champagne glass? We will see in further slides, which is a mnemonic to remember this lesion. So these are the different questions you can encounter if this comes as a long case, or if this comes in OSCE in DNB exams, or if you are preparing for NEET PG exams or any other competitive exams in radiology. Regarding the case which I am presenting, these are the most likely questions can be encountered. So pause this video and see all the questions, and I will directly go to the answers now. So what is the most likely diagnosis of this case? Because we have seen a lesion which is arising from the floor of the fourth ventricle, which is showing cystic areas and few areas of hemorrhage, and the lesion is extending from the fourth ventricle through the foramen of Magendie and Lashka into the foramen magnum and even upper cervical spinal cord. So considering the characteristics, this lesion is mostly likely ependyoma. And what are those enhancing areas in the spinal cord? Intramedullary location and also intradural extramedullary location. Those are nothing but drop metastasis, which are commonly encountered in ependyoma. So the complete diagnosis of this case is ependyoma with drop metastasis to spine, and even we have seen a bony lesion in L2 which is bony metastasis. So that is extraneural metastasis. So what are the most common differentials for these lesions are medulloblastoma, juvenile palacetic astrocytoma, choroid plexus carcinoma, hemangioblastoma, and ATRT. So what are the lesions which are seen in the spine? We have seen are drop metastasis into spine along with bony metastasis. So what are the syndromes associated with lesion? These lesions are Turcot syndrome B and Menin syndrome, Li-Fraumeni syndrome, and neurofibromatosis type 2. So what are the genetic mutations which can be associated with these are TNC, NF2, notch mutations, ERB2, MDM2, NEFL, and PGD, FRA overexpression. And remember this RELA-ZFTA fusion positive. This RELA-ZFTA fusion positive gene is commonly encountered in supratentorial ependymiomas. Generally, the ependymiomas in the posterior fossa are infratentorial, but supratentorial ependymiomas, this RELA-ZFTA fusion gene is positive. Remember this RELA positive lesion gene in supratentorial ependymiomas, and the other is YAP1 MAM LD1 fusion. So what are the IHC markers which are seen associated with lesion are GFAP, that is glial fibrillary acidic protein, EMA, epithelial membrane antigen, S100, and vimentin positive. So what are PFA and PFB, which are seen in the question? These are postofosa ependymomas are divided into two groups, that is postofosa A and postofosa B. Postofosa A lesions are seen in infants, young children, which arise from the lateral recess and have poor prognosis, whereas postofosa B lesions arise seen in older children or adults, and it's arise from the floor of the fourth ventricle and has a good prognosis. What are the three histological subtypes? Are papillary, clear cell, and tannicytic. So what are the treatment, surgery, and radiotherapy depending upon the presentation and stage of the tumor? So this is one slide where you can see the molecular subgroups of ependyoma. Ependyoma, if it is supratentorial ependyoma, there is RELA fusion positive, which is seen in older children with poor prognosis, and other one is YAP1, which is seen in infants with good prognosis. And postofosa ependyoma, we have already seen PFA and PFB. PFA is seen in young children with poor prognosis, and PFB is older children or adolescents and has excellent prognosis. PFA arises from the lateral recess, whereas PFB arises from the floor of the fourth ventricle. We will see three cases which are common differentials for this lesion, that is ependyoma. So here you can see there is a cyst with enhancing mural nodule. So there is a postofosa lesion in the midline. This is the cystic component and this is the nodular component. So cystic lesion with enhancing mural nodule in a child or in the infratentorial location. This is a case of pilocytic astrocytoma. So cyst with enhancing mural nodule, that is pilocytic astrocytoma. This is the other case. You can see there is iso to hyperdense mass lesion filling in the fourth ventricle, which is dorsal to the fourth ventricle, displacing the fourth ventricle anteriorly with minimal perilesional edema. On IV contrast, there is intense heterogeneous enhancement. This is the perilesional edema, which is filling completely the fourth ventricle. Here, this you can see this is iso to hypointense on T1, posterior to the fourth ventricle. And here you can see this is the lesion. This is the lesion, and you can see this is the fourth ventricle, which is clearly draped around the lesion, hyperintense lesion, in the form of banana fashion. So, and here you can also see in the sagittal sections, this is the hyperintense lesion with few cystic areas, which is causing displacement of the brainstem anteriorly, even tonsillar herniation with supratentorial dilatation of the third ventricles. So this is the case of medulloblastoma. So whenever you see a hyperintense lesion which is pushing the fourth ventricle anteriorly and the fourth ventricle is draped around the cystic lesion or solid lesion in the form of banana fashion, and which is hyperdense on CT due to high cellularity, and if shows restricted diffusion on DWI on MRI, definitely suspect medulloblastoma. So this is the other case where you can see this is the cystic lesion with enhancing mural nodule, and you can also see there is enhancing area in the spinal cord at C2 or C3 vertebral level, and you can see cystic areas in the pancreas and even in the cysts in the kidney. So this is a case of cerebellar hemangioblastoma in a case of VHL, that is von Hippel-Lindau disease. So these are the three common differentials you remember for ependyoma. One is medulloblastoma, other one is juvenile pilocytic astrocytoma, and this third one is the hemangioblastoma. So this is the chart where you can see differentiating features for medulloblastoma, ependyoma, pilocytic astrocytoma, hemangioblastoma. This is the age presentation. So hyperdense, medulloblastoma is mostly hyperdense due to dense cellularity, and remaining all are hypo. And even mural nodule, that is cystic lesion with enhancing mural nodule, is commonly seen in postofosa in pilocytic astrocytoma and hemangioblastoma, but mural nodule is not commonly encountered in medulloblastoma and ependymoma. And calcification, hemorrhage, and extension into cysternal spaces, which is common in ependymoma. So calcification, cystic changes, cystic degeneration, hemorrhage, and extension into cysternal spaces or foraminal spaces is common in ependyomas. And you can see diffusion restriction, which is seen in medulloblastoma due to dense cellularity. So remember, diffusion restriction is usually seen in medulloblastoma, but not usually seen in ependyoma, pilocytic astrocytoma, or hemangioblastoma. So what is this mnemonic I want you to remember about all the features of ependyoma is, this is the champagne glass, which is already depicted in the previous images. So whenever the champagne glass tilts, you can see all the drops coming out of the glass and fall out. So this is French champagne spills drops. So what is this champagne? So I want you to remember the champagne as a mnemonic for drop metastasis. So what is this champagne? We'll see. C is choroid plexus carcinoma, H is hemangioblastoma, A is anaplastic astrocytoma, M is medulloblastoma, P is pineocytoma, pineoblastoma and PNET, G is GBM germinoma, E is ependymoma. So remember the mnemonic champagne for drop metastasis. I think you can see lots of mnemonics for drop metastasis in other sites and even radiology journals, but I think this is a very useful and very easily remembered mnemonic for drop metastasis. So remember champagne for drop metastasis. And what is this French champagne spill drop? So we have already seen champagne for drop metastasis. So we'll see all the features of ependymoma in this French spills. So what is this French spills? F is this ependymoma is commonly arising from the floor of the fourth ventricle and which has foraminal extension, whereas medulloblastoma arises from the roof of the fourth ventricle. R is RELA ZFTF fusion positive, which is commonly seen in supratentorial ependymomas, and even you can see rosettis, that is ependymal rosettis in histopathology. E is extension into cisternal spaces, CSF or subarachnoid spaces, which is commonly depicted as drop metastasis. N is no restriction on DWA compared with medulloblastoma. Generally, there is no restriction on ependymoma when compared with medulloblastoma. And N, it is also associated with NF2. And N, you can remember in spectroscopy as NAA peak reduction. So what is C? You can see cystic changes, cystic degeneration, calcification, and in MRS, you can see choline peak. So remember C for these changes. What is H? We can remember as hemorrhage. S is solid component. Please, plasticity, that is plastic tumor. This tumor is a plastic tumor which try to squeeze out of the fourth ventricle into the foramen of Magendie or Lashka, into the foramen magnum and even into the upper cervical spinal cord, as we have seen in this case. So plastic tumor or plasticity nature or plastic nature of the tumor, remember for P. Others are pseudorosettis which are seen in HPE, and other what I have already told is Postophosa A and Postophosa B lesions. So what is I? IHCR, GFAP, EMA, S100 and Vimentin positive. L is this lateral recess of fourth ventricle because PFA arises from lateral recess of fourth ventricle, whereas PFB arises from floor of the fourth ventricle. And you can remember lipid lactate peaks can be also seen in MRS in cystic areas and necrosis. What is S? It is seeding into CSF. So these are the few references. Thank you all. Please subscribe and share. So remember French champagne spill drop as a mnemonic for ependymoma with drop metastasis.